Displacord.
Join and get your first month free. Deal ends March 13th.
See? Dollar Shave Club just has great razors at a great price and no bull.
The Ice King is on his way, and the first season of Chapter 7 is coming to a close, meaning it was once again time to hop on my ult and unlock the final Battle Pass outfit, Dark Voyager, Reality Redacted, in one day. If you're new here, I've been doing this challenge since Chapter 3, so make sure to check out the rest of the series, especially whichever seasons are your favorites. And remember to subscribe so you don't miss any in the future. These videos are inspired by Luke the Notable, and with that, let's begin. Upon logging in, I was rewarded with the Dumb Ways to Die bundle, which I forgot I claimed. I entered code Zayworks and subscribed to Fortnite Crew for the day, giving me access to all of the side passes. As per usual, I'm starting out with some Fortnite Festival. I was decently locked in for my 45 minutes of jamming, and completed enough quests to reach level 11. There's nothing to really say about the quests themselves. They're all tasks that you get done as you play. Next stop was Fortnite OG, which is on Season 7. I'm honestly glad it got extended a bit, so I'm able to get some footage for the series. I started off going through my OG quests, and decided on a path to take. I opted for Polar Peak in Game 1, where a convenient bot allowed an elimination within 15 seconds of landing, finishing my time at Polar Peak by building structures, sliding for 5 seconds, collecting items, and ammo. My path took me on over to Crackshot's cabin, where I completed a bottle rocket challenge. Then, on my way out of the zone, I got into a build fight. The only thoughts going through my brain were about what could get me XP, so I threw a chiller grenade at the enemy, completing 2 quests at once. OG Game 2, I dropped Happy Hamlet and massacred the residents. Before leaving, I finished gaining shields, landing tricks on a driftboard, and searching chests at the location. I rode my quad crasher through Polar Peak one more time to finish searching containers. Later, while trying to off-road the quad crasher, I accidentally drove through Tilted's basketball court, disturbing a player inside. They wanted my insurance information, so I had to take matters into my own hands. Fortnite fixed the quad crasher's flight, so I quickly ended up in Loot Lake to wrap up a vehicle challenge. In the top 8, I was attacked trying to open a supply drop by an explosive-loving maniac, though a couple of rifle shots would reveal the player to be Gekyun, son of XXX Tentacion, probably playing on his Switch 2. Very soon after, I finished up vending machine purchases but was sniped, leaving me at level 20, wrapping up my pinned quest in OG Game 3 by dropping Frosty Flights. I took off in a plane towards Tomato Temple, finishing a quest to travel distance in the Stormwing before— oh no, I'm barreling out of control! OG Game 4, I'm back at Tomato Temple with one of the craziest gliders I've ever seen, and took out Mecha Morty with some clingers for a decent chunk of XP. After searching containers and chests at the location, I completed distance on a zipline before sprinting my way down to Loot Lake, where I found some unopened chests around the edges of the POI. Not much else happened this game, and I went down in a mad dash to the zone. Finally for OG was Game 5. I had Loot Lake, Tilted, and Shifty all to myself, where I completed each of their respective searching containers quests. Later on, outside Dusty Diner, I battled the fabled Turret Default, and managed to just scrape by, quickly eating like 10 entire apples because I was hungry. In the top 10, I watched another player try to hide in a bush, though unfortunately for them, I had the benefit of already being in my own bush watching. I got the jump on a World Cup fish stick, who just continued to build up and up and up. Naturally, all it took was to chop them down, and gravity did the rest. It was soon down to a top 3 at the containers. I took down an elite agent and built up to the high ground. The final player was floating around on a balloon, which allowed me to get in some crazy shots, winning an OG Season 7 game and getting all the way up to level 29. This season's Battle Pass allows players to unlock sets in whatever order they like. 3 of these sets have extra styles for completing quests in other game modes. Since Dark Voyager is locked as the final set, I went ahead and claimed all the rewards for Cat Holloway and Carter Wu first in order to get their styles going up. Speaking of, it's now time for some Blitz. I don't separate this mode by individual games because that would take way too long. Alongside the Socialite quests, this mode had a small list of its own challenges to complete in the background. Like Festival, they're challenges that slowly get done as you play. Nothing really specific to note, though by the end of this almost 40-minute detour, I was so done with Blitz. I got a victory royale for the final A-lister challenge and went back to the lobby, having earned the Media Blitz edit style and ending up level 34. Last up for the side modes was Reload. Game 1, I had to hit a player after bashing through a door, but the bot I was against kept opening it right in my face. I was able to finish a lot of action hero quests in this game and went on to get the win. Reload Game 2, I for some reason switched to build mode and my game lasted significantly shorter. I finished up with the Connor Loot quest and Reload Game 3. I beat the final player to earn a second victory, ending my time in Reload just shy of level 41 and having earned the Black Dragon edit style. At long last, I was ready to queue into my first game of Battle Royale. Game 1, I had a terrible drop near the landing site and made my way over to defeat Hush and her guards, which completed several quests. I then, for maybe the second time this entire season, turned into a boss, which almost immediately led to my death death as my exact location was on display for the next player who happened by. I made up for last time by actually getting to the landing site and completing 2 story quests instantly. Now's a good time to note the XP nerfs for this season. Both story and weekly quest XP has been nerfed significantly, from both types giving 20,000 XP in Shock and Awesome, all the way down to 15,000 per story quest and only 12,000 XP per weekly. If you remember how bad the XP was back in the Hades season, just know we're not far off. I destroyed objects at the landing site and continued on to get multiple quests done eliminating one player. My route allowed me to complete all sorts of miscellaneous challenges, like exploding a vehicle, breaking glass, scouting a safe house, damage under stealth, purchasing from vending machines, and damaging players while airborne. After a significantly better game, I found myself at level 51. I dropped on a hot air balloon from the bus in Game 3. I wanted to enter Wonky Land, but had a run-in with photo-negative Wonky. Game 4 was my Wonky Land redemption. After dropping in, I completed a plethora of different challenges, mostly related to the different attractions at Wonky Land, like riding the Ferris wheel or participating in the shooting gallery. I flew into the zone to destroy objects at Tip Top Terrace, making sure to mark healing items before I got back. Much later, I stopped over at Sandy Strip to place the final newspapers for Kingston's movie, and completed sprinting distance with a rifle equipped. In Game 5, I landed at Painted Palms to collect weapons and talk to the NPCs. I quickly found the final shooting location before switching my NPC and receiving an autograph at Latte Landing. On the way to my next objective, I eliminated a bot to complete 2 more quests, one relating to the NPC. I got Karina to sign an autograph and hired her, completing 2 more challenges in the process. Karina would end up going down in the top 4, leaving me to clean up the rest of the lobby myself, winning a victory royale and getting me to level 59. I switched over to Respawn Rumble in Game 6 to prioritize combat challenges. I'm never gonna shut up about how dirty Fortnite did Team Rumble. The new mode had 80 total players when I was on. Team Rumble would never. In this match, I searched a final rare chest and wrapped up eliminating players at Lethal Labs, damage with SMGs, destroying props with explosions, and touching a 0-point shard. Game 7, I continued to knock out different combat-related challenges. I thought I was going crazy after wearing a bush and attacking players to see the challenge not go up at all, though I'd later learn they meant the giant bushes. In Game 8, I flew directly into the Dark Voyager's ship and decrypted a message to complete another story quest. I was having issues with multiple quests due to the recent loot pool changes. They vaulted the Vengeful Sniper without auto-completing its quest, and also vaulted all of the scoped rifles, leaving the scoped weapons damage challenge only possible with the Hollow Rush SMG, because the MK7 also just didn't count. The hardest part was finding the specific weapons I needed for my quests. I would go games without finding a Hollow Rush or Sniper when I needed it. During this game, I was able to figure out the bush challenge, but didn't complete much else. Finally finding my first lock-on rifle in Game 9, I earned the final elimination of the game for its challenge. Game 10 rewarded me with 2 Hollow Rush SMGs off spawn, and I finally wrapped up the scoped weapon damage quest along with sniper rifle hits, ending my Respawn Rumble games only 5 levels higher than when I started at. It was quickly getting apparent to me that the terrible XP this season wasn't going to be enough to get me all the way to level 100 by itself. I decided I'd grind up to level 75 and purchase the 25 level pack from the shop, but I still had a long road ahead of me just to get from level 64 to 75. This last section took almost a third of the entire challenge. I proceeded to run through another session of Fortnite Festival. I still had a few OG quests close to completion, so I hopped in for a 6th game of OG after using a campfire, headshotting, and cracking a player's shield, damage after riding a vehicle, and suppressed weapon damage. I scraped out another single level. Reload Game 4 saw me building structures and hiding until I survived storm circles. Switching up again back to Battle Royale for Game 11. Fortunately for me, some of the challenges that remained granted an entire level up to MVP. I started out talking to Kat Holloway, telling her I hope she breaks both of her legs. I checked in with the order, likely telling her the exact same thing, and tried to drive down the ramp, but a small pebble stopped all my momentum and I fell off. Attempt number 2 wasn't much better. Game 12, I danced against the Kingdom Guild for a level up, and gaining shield from Flowberry Mist earned me another level up from Jones. I figured there wasn't much else to do in this game, so I threw myself off a cliff and back into the lobby at level 73. I figured by now I had played enough to earn a good 15 minutes in creative. I AFK'd while earning the final 2 levels to get to level 75. Returning to the lobby, I did another check through of the entire challenge list, and finally purchased the 25 Battle Pass level bundle. I was now level 100 and could technically call it quits here, but I did mention before that the Dark Voyager was one of the 3 outfits with a quest style. This time the quest style is Royale, so I guess it's time for a speed round. Game 13, I lied to the Dark Voyager and eliminated 5 players at Lethal Labs. Game 14, I traveled the map interrogating witnesses about the 0-point shard, hunting down signs of the set, then unlocked the worst of the set, eliminating 7 players with the Arc Lightning gun. I was able to get 3 of the eliminations in Game 15, but spent Game 16 and 17 just trying to get my hands on the guaranteed spawn at Classified Canyon. Finally, in Game 18, I got the final 4 eliminations and wrapped up the Dark Voyager's quest by receiving his final directive, before immediately launching myself at first into the unstable 0 point. When I got back to the lobby, I saw it burn my hand very badly, but then I had finally unlocked the Burning Voyager edit style, showing it's once again possible to unlock the final Battle Pass outfit in one day. I cancelled my Fortnite crew and did a little dance. I hope Fortnite decides to buff the XP next season. I think 12k.
Hey, we got this old mattress
Waterbed.
and a receipt.
How about you giving me a better deal on one of these push setups?
Hey Glass Game, today we're taking a look at my solo ENO6 3-star build guide. This is a full build breakdown that can solo the ENO6 Guardian in the first stage using only 3-star non-raid specific gear and only 1 legendary perk card. In the first stage, this is also a high intelligence build that will be ranking up faster this season, perfect for both beginners and late game players who want to get into raiding but don't have any 4-star gear or just want a low requirement build so that you can make it more personal and optimized for your personal playstyle, making it as simple as possible. Anything you add to the build from here will only be optimization and things that benefit your playstyle. This build has specific tactics that have to be used in order for the survivability to work correctly, and you need to do this or you're going to die. This is the solo run with the optional gear that I talk about, and I will be talking about tactics involved during the fight. The optional gear in question is this Furious Pepper Shaker. It has the Furious Crippling Legendary mods. This is to take down the shield much faster. It's also equipped with shotgun shell or the standard ammunition type because from our testing, ballistic outperforms energy ammo in crippling the shield. After the shield goes down, I switch to my quad rapid +3 intelligence pepper shaker. This has the hex barrel, plasma magazine, and in the Pip-Boy it will say that fusion cells do more damage, but from our testing, plasma is outperforming fusion cell every time. For tip number 1, I'm going to tell you to stand close enough. Make sure that you're standing close enough so that you get the most out of your close range damage on this build. And just pay attention to where I stand. You don't want to stand where you're going to get zapped to death, like the floor, the open floor area, but you can stand on the little ramp. You can tell I'm using the Furious to start with here because I have 50 rounds in the magazine, which is what I'm gonna have at max capacity with Furious. Quad brings us to 200. How I'm taking down the shield is with the 15% chance to deflect for 6 seconds when firing a heavy gun. So we don't even need to be shooting at ENO6 technically, but you might as well, he's right there in front of you. And with the act of shooting towards him, it's effectively going to deflect damage back to ENO6. After the shield goes down, I swap to my quad pepper shaker and aim down sights. You want to just squeeze the trigger here and aim for the center, the torso of ENO6. With this build, like I said, it's optional to use the Furious. I find it's just faster on average by like 15 seconds because it does cripple the shield faster with the extra crippling damage that it does. However, you're going to see in the next clip that you can just get away with just running the quad pepper shaker. But yeah, I wanted you to see that with it just having enough with the quad, sometimes you end up with a bad reason to reload at the last minute. You can still reload and get the kill. I just swapped to my other pepper shaker and finished the job that way. Now let's watch a solo run without the optional pepper shaker. This time we're only using the quad pepper shaker. You can tell I'm using the quad by the 200 round ammo capacity in my pepper shaker. Now we don't have Born Survivor or Medic Pump on the build, which means this build relies solely on manual stimming. That's why it's important for you to stim. You have to stop shooting and stim, or if you're in third person, you can shoot and stim at the same time. So it's up to you whichever way you play. I prefer playing in first person, but unfortunately you have to stop spooling your weapon to stim. Luckily, once the shield goes down, you don't get attacked that much afterwards, so you don't have to stim. But yeah, just keep that in mind. You have to use at least 2 or 3 super stims. You want to make sure you only have super stims on you. You can get away with spamming more regular stims, but you're going to go through a lot more of them, so keep that in mind. Once the shield goes down, it's business as usual. Target the torso. You'll do the most amount of damage hitting it there with this build. This one takes about 15 seconds longer without the furious crippling to take down the shield sooner, and it'll still get a single stage kill. It's very close though, same as the first one. You end up dying either way, but you always get the kill. Now we're going to go over the armor and the special perk loadout, followed by mutations and buffs. This is the armor set I'm using. It's a full set of Hellcat armor. For the armor set, I'm using a full set of Troubleshooter's Hellcat power armor. This has the Troubleshooters +2 intelligence through Hiker's legendary mods. So with this, it gives us a reduction in damage that we take from robots, and ENO6 is a robot, so it's a perfect set to use to farm ENO6 with. The +2 intelligence is giving us more damage through the science perk card on the build. It's also giving us high intelligence to rank up faster. You do gain more XP the higher your intelligence. So this is a win-win. We're getting more damage and we're getting...
This is a nice place. Never was much of a builder myself.
Getting more XP. Also, by having the food, drink, and chem weight reduction, it opens up perk points on the build that we can use to further optimize the build, instead of having the through hiker perk card and the pharmacy perk card under strength. So there's just pictures of all of the pieces of armor, each piece. I would recommend putting medic pump on chest if you haven't unlocked. This way you automatically stim at 50%, but I just left it open because you should just get used to stimming on your own as well and not rely on auto stimming perks. And this way you can just use a jetpack instead if you want. If you want to use it for anything outside the raids. These are the base points you'll need to invest in the build. I have 14 strength, 5 perception, 5 endurance, 3 charisma, 10 intelligence, 12 agility, and 7 luck. These are the special perk cards. I have Bringing the Big Guns, Shotgun Champ, Easy Target, Bullet Storm, and Lock and Load. Why we have the Hex Barrel on the Pepper Shaker is because of Bullet Storm. You're gonna gain faster damage sooner with the Hex Barrel because it counts per projectile your weapon fires, and we're firing 8 pellets per shot with the Hex Barrel. Lock and Load is very important so that you don't lose all your damage when you reload. You get to keep half your Bullet Storm stacks when you reload. Tank Killer, another super important card. Your ranged weapons ignore 40% armor. This used to exclusively work for stuff like Fixers and Elder's Marks and Railways, but it now applies to heavy guns and all ranged weapons. Sender Masochist, 75% damage when attacking the torso. That's why I tell you to focus your fire on the torso of ENO6. Bullet Shield, another important card we discussed when I was fighting ENO6. This gives you gain 15% deflect chance for 6 seconds when firing a heavy gun. Adamantium Skeleton, gain limb damage reduction based on your endurance. Starch Genes, you will never mutate from rads, and Radaway will never cure mutations. Under Charisma, we have Strange in Numbers. This is why you see me on a team down here. You can join a team and then go into the raid solo. It gives you the option at the door to enter solo. Or you can enter the raid and then join a team when you're already inside the raid, if that's easier for you. Strange in Numbers is going to give you positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if teammates are mutated too. Just join a team with at least a few players. This will guarantee someone is mutated on the team. Tenderizer. Each attack makes your target take increased damage. First Aid. Stimpaks restore more HP based on your intelligence, and we have high intelligence here. Power User. Fusion core duration is now doubled. Stabilized. Big guns gain 30% accuracy, double in power armor. This helps tighten the spread on the pepper shaker and keep it firing a nice cone of fire. That's easy to land shots. Science. Increased damage based on your intelligence. This is what I was mentioning earlier. The higher your intelligence, the higher your damage. Up to plus 40% more damage. Batteries included. In Gunslinger, in Agility we have Gunslinger. Your ranged weapons do 12% weak spot damage. Gunslinger Expert, plus 1% ranged weak spot damage per onslaught stack, plus 3 max stacks. Guerrilla, you do 20% range damage to close enemies. Guerrilla Master, you do 5% range damage to close enemies per onslaught stack, plus 5 max stacks. This is why I mean to stand close, make sure that you're standing close to Uno 6. Pack-in Light, your action points regenerate faster when not over-encumbered. Under luck, we have One Gun Army, super important for crippling the shield. Heavy guns gain 12% stagger chance and 75% limb damage. The shield does count as a limb here. Ricochet, also very important for the shield. Gain a chance to deflect ranged attacks based on your luck. Class Freak, the negative effects of your mutations are reduced by 75%. Now the only legendary perk that I have on this build is taking one for the team, as it's very important to add that bonus and get the most out of being on a team. With this perk you get 40% more damage when they attack you, when enemies attack you if you're on a team. This is just a straight 40% more damage bonus. Every other perk slot is open for you to optimize to your liking, according to your personal taste and playstyle. So enjoy, you'll be able to put a lot into this build. This is really the bare bones to run a pepper shaker or any heavy energy weapon in general. For mutations, I have Adrenal Reaction, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Herbivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Speed Demon Serum. For buffs, I'm just using Berry Mentats. This brings up our intelligence even higher to that plus 33, and with being on a build with teammates that are mutated, and having the quad pepper shaker equipped, and also having the food buff. The only food buff that I'm going to mention is Brain Fungus Soup. This grows inside of the raids, and when you're on a team with teammates that are mutated and you have the herbivore mutation, eating this will actually give you plus 5 intelligence. It does say plus 2 on the card that I have, but with being on a team, like I said, with mutated members and having this build, it'll show 5 intelligence. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I upload weekly and live stream weekly. I'm Miss Glass, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. GG!
And then your late game bottleneck, which will be the number of slots you have available. So these slots, they replenish over time. Now, if you followed my advice in Reason 1 and picked up the Tablet of Spawning as your first tech pickup, you'll see it also grants you increased sequence generation as well as extra slots. Apart from legendary lords like Tic-Tac-Toe having increased spawn capacity for flying units, there's no other way to boost this slot capacity other than this tech. This will be your late game bottleneck, which you can't really do too much about. In the later game, you've got great picks like Stegodons, which we'll go into more detail about shortly. The key takeaway from this section is to not spend all of your spawning sequence on one fancy unit in the early game. It's better to get multiple strong units as opposed to one very strong unit, so you can spread your power more effectively with the limited resources you have. Later in the campaign, when sequence is more abundant, be sure to spend it, as its only use is for blessed units. There's no point stockpiling it. Blessed units are great for emergency armies, so even the skinks will be useful in padding emergency armies out. Reason you suck with the Lizardmen, number 4. You forget your heroes. The Lizardmen have the strongest cadre of heroes in the game. All of your heroes get to ride big stumpy dinosaurs, whilst equipping all of their weapons and ancillaries, which can make them nigh on unkillable whilst dealing absurd damage. Kroq-Gar has a particular focus on Saurus Scar veterans, and these guys tear everything to shreds on their Carnosaurs, which become extremely strong. These guys are why you never need to recruit feral Carnosaurs. They do the same job, except much better, and they don't rampage. You can equip weapons on them to further boost their damage output, and you can't do that with a feral Carnosaur. They share the same unique Kroq-Gar ability that every level they get an extra 1% weapon strength, which at level 50 really adds up. You want to be building a lot of Saurus barracks to maximise the capacity of these guys, even if you have multiple barracks in a province. A tier 4 barracks will increase the hero rank by 2. Combine this with the sequence of projected presence and a few of these barracks, and you can start pumping out Scar veterans pre-mounted on Carnosaurs, ready to unleash Carnosaurage. You have Skink Priests, who come with either the Lore of Beasts or Heaven's Magic. Both decent schools, but this hero gets access to Stegodon mounts, which are superb. They get a regular Stegodon with a ballista, turning them into a monstrous artillery piece. They also get the Ancient Stegodon, and an Ancient Stegodon with the Engine of the Gods, which has a massive Area of Effect wind spell, which you can use a couple of times throughout a battle. Skink Chiefs, another excellent hero. You get more capacity for these by building a tier 3 skink barracks. They increase your casualty replenishment rate, which is great because Lizardmen casualty replenishment rate naturally is quite low, whilst also being able to mount up on Stegodons just like the Skink Priest. They don't get the Engine of the Gods like the Skink Priest, but Stegodons are still excellent, either ancient or regular. Finally, the Skink Oracle, another staple. I like to pick up one of these guys in every army. They can cast Lore of Life magic, which is perfect for any force not being led by a Slann Lord. They increase your campaign movement range when attached to an army. They also come immediately equipped with a Troglodon mount, which is good and kind of bad in a way. It's good in the early game, but it'd be nice to put them on Stegodons later on. Anyway, still a fantastic hero, get them into your armies. They can fight in melee, but they're a bit more fragile than other stompy dinosaurs, so you just need to keep an eye on them. As Kroq-Gar, your Saurus Scar veterans are your priority. You want to be building a lot of those Saurus barracks to boost these heroes up. The other heroes you don't need quite as many of, but it's a good idea to bring one of each in each army. And the Scar veterans I tend to bring no more than about 3. 3 Carnosaurs will crush any large units which the enemy can throw at you. Also, as I said in Reason 1, look out for the Pompous trait. Getting a few of these heroes with Pompous will reduce leadership of enemies in the region. Very helpful throughout a campaign. Reason you suck with the Lizardmen, number 5. You don't understand your economy. The Lizardman economy is excellent in the late game, but very tricky in the early game. Your units are expensive, and in the early game you're reliant on your cities to generate you money. The base value of sacking settlements is not very high for the Lizardmen. Typically, I tend to occupy settlements that I conquer to maintain the infrastructure and the settlement level as best as I can. If the settlement comes with a building you don't need, you can demolish it to free up space and get yourself some money. But I wouldn't recommend sacking settlements until you have at least researched the sequence of annihilation, which gives you some minor modifiers. But even then, sacking settlements is rarely the path I choose to take with the lizards, as you lose 2 tiers worth of settlement level. Your economy revolves around your cities. The Skink favelas and later on the Croxagore Labour District at Tier 3 is your primary money-making building. It's a pretty
You don't feel like getting up, going out, or working out? Sounds like you don't feel like much of a man anymore. It's not your fault. Most likely, you've got low testosterone.
Be honest, have you ever woken up in the morning after a binge and just felt disgusting? You're bloated, you're guilty, you're telling yourself you ruined everything. When I was 315 pounds, binge nights weren't rare, they were normal. And the reason why most people stay overweight isn't the binge, it's what they do the next day. So in this video, I'm walking you through exactly how to recover after a binge. From the moment I get out of bed to the time I go to sleep tonight. No detox, no punishment, no starting over Monday, just structure. Here are the rules for today. What you can do: hydrate, eat protein, move your body, follow a normal routine. What you can't do: starve yourself, do panic cardio, say I ruined it, and keep eating. Wait until Monday to restart. This is a recovery day, not a punishment day. So let me show you exactly how this plays out. All right, let me tell you what actually happened. I binge ate pretty gnarly last night, and there's not a worse feeling than waking up after a night of binge eating. You feel like crap, you feel bloated, you just don't feel great. But what I didn't do is I didn't go to extreme measures. I didn't do a ton of cardio. I didn't fast for 30 days. I didn't do all these things that are just gonna put me into that cycle. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hydrate, eat the protein that I usually do, maybe push cardio just a little bit more, and honestly just get back on track. And here's where people get confused. I'll do a little intermediate fast just through the breakfast time because the night before I ate so much food, like I'm not hungry. So I'll just go lunch and dinner. So let's go to the store and I'm gonna show you exactly what I get.
Welcome.
So I'm gonna show you exactly what I get for hydration, for protein, and for what helps with digestion. Okay, so one of the first things I grab is this digestion stuff, and it's the ginger and pineapple. Helps with digestion and inflammation, things like that. The next thing is protein, and I go with ground beef. It's just super lean, so I go with the 96.4% fat. And honestly, what we're doing here is like, you still need to hit your protein. I'm big on body recomposition. I talk about this stuff all the time inside of my Fat to Jack program. It's like, you need your protein. It helps with putting on muscle, so it just keeps you burning fat. So onto the hydration, and why hydration is so important is because after a huge night of binge eating, you're going to be dehydrated. So I'm gonna go with coconut water, specifically the Vita Coco coconut water, and I'll show you what else I get. This is the aisle you wanna stay away from. Do not go here after a day of binge eating. Don't do that. The goal after a night of binge eating is finish a whole gallon of water. It's just gonna flush everything out basically. And it's extremely important. That's like, yeah, I'd say top 3 things. All right, so we got all the necessities, so let's go back to the office. All right, while I'm paying for it, start drinking your water ASAP. All right, got back from the store. I'm gonna be cooking up my lunch. Yeah, see you in there. So we are gonna be cooking our lunch, specifically our ground beef, and we're just trying to honestly just prioritize protein here. So what we're cooking for lunch is this, and the macros exactly, just to share that with you guys, it's 140 calories and there's 4 servings, so do the math really quick. I did this in my head just really quickly. You know, I just really locked in, I'm just really good at math. I used to work at Harvard. I actually helped Albert Einstein. Anyways, 560 calories, 97 grams of protein, I believe. It's 24 times 4, 96. I'm a genius. Anyways, gotta cut this open real quick. Bro, what are you doing? I'm just cutting the thing. What are you talking about? This just looks so wrong. This just looks so wrong, bro. There we go. Next thing that I got are the seasoned veggies, a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic powder, things like that. I'm a lazy person. I don't want to go and like put all these ingredients in it. So I'm gonna throw it in here, 5 minutes, why I'm having greens, volume, and well, honestly, it's really fiber. It's really gonna help with that whole digestive process. The thing with these meals is I'm not punishing myself at all. Like if let's say I didn't binge eat last night, this is what I would be having for lunch practically. Nothing really changes because at the end of the day, regardless, I'm gonna get at least 200 grams of protein in, right? But I'm just skipping that breakfast. I'm just gonna have a really heavy lunch and dinner. All right. We're locked in. All right. So this is something I do pretty much every single month. If I do binge eat, boom. I'm gonna go munch on this real quick. 315 pound me, what I would do was constantly binge eat fast and then go and binge eat again. It's just like this cycle that I was in for like years. And this is why I'm like making this video, because I feel like there's a lot of people that just think they have to go so extreme. I'm still getting the same macros in, maybe a few hundred calories less, but honestly, it's just going back to that routine that you were doing before. Because again, we all mess up with this whole weight loss journey. You're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, get past it. Get back on the saddle, keep grinding. So this whole meal here, ground beef and broccoli, is a little over 600 calories, over 100 grams of protein. So if you think this isn't gonna fill you up, then you're absolutely insane. Like you're gonna be feeling full, and that's the objective here. You wanna feel full, but also have that energy. You wanna feel good afterwards, because a lot of times when I was overweight, yeah, I felt full, but I was sluggish. This is how you get back on track, is just eating like this. But right after I eat this meal, I'm hitting the gym. I'll see you guys in there. Before I hit the gym, I'm gonna be taking this shot of digestion.
I call upon our competitors to reinvigorate
This stuff sucks,
them.
but
Shame
it
them
only aids
until
you,
they
right?
repent.
Here we go. Damn, we're locked in though. It's what I get for not being locked in yesterday, okay? Now I'm headed into the gym. I've been chugging on my gallon of water, trying to get that down by the end of the day. That's the goal. But I'm just gonna be sipping on this coconut water for that hydration. All right, just got done lifting. Now I'm on my cardio. I'm gonna be on here for just a little bit. Again, I'm not doing anything too extreme. How'd the workout feel? Honestly, in the beginning, a little bit sluggish, but towards the end, dude, I had a pretty gnarly pump, and that's just from all the carbs and all the food I was eating yesterday. So, I mean, I guess you could say there's a few benefits to binge eating. I'm not saying to go and binge eat every day, but yeah, I've been hydrating through the whole thing, drinking my coconut water, I've been drinking my gallon of water. I'm locked in. I'm gonna finish the rest of this cardio, and I'll talk to you guys in a second. All right, just got done working, and it's dinner time now. So I got me some ground turkey, and this has, like, by the way, some insane macros. It's 500 calories, 112 grams of protein for this whole thing. But I really want to talk about, like, staying busy. That's a big thing when you're trying to lose weight, is you just want to stay busy, because if you're not busy, you're at home, you're twiddling your thumbs, you're gonna think, oh, I'm not hungry, but man, eating some food sure sounds entertaining right now. Things typically go into a spiral, especially if you ate really bad the day before. So like, let's say I wasn't working, I wasn't busy, I would just be thinking about everything I did yesterday, like, oh man, I really messed up. Might as well just mess up today too, and we'll just start back up again Monday. And I know when you're watching this right now, you're like, oh, that's not me. But honestly, like, really think about it. You typically start.
Like I need a punishment. If anything, I need a facial.
Well, at least I have time to daydream.
You here to punish me?
This setup is so 17.
Take your food from blah to bold. It's not mayo, it's Miracle Whip. Protect your dreams under our roof.
Isn't this the dream, Grandpa?
American Family Insurance.
There's this huge misconception that snacking makes you overweight. People think if you're snacking, you're doing it wrong. I was snacking when I was over 315 pounds. And I'm still snacking now. So what changed? And before you say it, no, I'm not just talking carrots and celery. Just for representation, let me show you what my snacking used to look like. Because once you see what I was actually snacking on before, everything in this video is just gonna make sense. I'm at my local nutrition store, and honestly, this is like, I feel like a kid at a candy store. Like, this is awesome. Like, look at that. This is freaking awesome. Here's the thing, there's such a bad misconception when it comes down to protein bars. Like, oh, it's chalky, it doesn't taste good. Look, you're probably trying some kind of protein bar from like the 1900s, the 1800s, you know what I mean? The protein bars nowadays taste completely different. Like, when I started really implementing protein bars and really trying different ones, I mean, there's some good ones, decent amount of good ones, and there's some bad ones. For example, someone could just go and grab a protein bar, try it once, be like, oh, all protein bars are bad. What? Like, I've honestly, if you look at this whole section here, I've probably tried every single protein bar, and I'm not even joking. Yeah, definitely. Actually, that's crazy. Out of camera, that is crazy. Early protein bars were basically survival food. They were dry, chalky, and tasted like cardboard because nutrition tech just wasn't there yet. Then a few years later, brands tried to improve them, but they were still pretty bad. And that's where most people just checked out. But fast forward to now, ingredients are better, formulas are smarter, and taste actually matters. Protein snacks didn't just get worse, they got better. And most people never went back to try them again. That's like eating one bad burger and saying all food is trash. So here's my rule of thumb when it comes down to protein bars. Every 100 calories is at least 10 grams of protein. So if you're looking around here, like for example, so this has 230 calories and 18 grams of protein, so that would not work. Here's another protein bar, 210 calories, 20 grams of protein. Although these are pretty good macros, they don't make my cut. One of my favorite protein bars that actually makes the cut is the barbells. Not all the barbells are actually, they don't make the cut, but some of them do. So like the Key Lime High, 200 calories, 20 grams of protein. Another one of my favorites when it comes down to barbell is the Creamy Crisp. It is, again, 200 for 20 grams of protein. They just make the cut. These are fantastic options. Oh, you know what's funny is like sometimes when I'm on the go, I don't recommend this, but I do it just to get my protein in. But like literally for lunch, I'm probably actually gonna do it today because I'm in a rush, is I'll grab like 5 of these, so it'll equal like 100 grams of protein. I'll just smack all the protein bars. I think you've seen it. I think you guys seen it. Like, if you want something that has the craziest macros, follow me right over here. These are just absolutely insane, and it's going to be the David protein bars. These are super easy to spot. The golden, look at that. Just like, I don't know. Looks really appealing, I guess. I don't know. But my favorites out of these are the cinnamon roll flavored bar, the cake batter flavored bar. This one's really good. Oh yeah, and the cookie dough flavored bar. This one's really good as well. And here's the thing. I don't think you'll ever see better macros on a protein bar. It is 28 grams of protein for 150 calories. I don't think there was another protein bar that has ever even existed that had that good of macros. It's insane. And the reason why, out of all the protein bars, these are like extremely good in macros, or honestly, I want to say great, is it's something called EPG, and that is something that hasn't really been put into protein bars before. So it's basically just a compound. That's all it is. And when people think protein, they think they just go to protein bars. But there's so many other things, like there's literal chips. Instead of eating Doritos, come over here, you have like so many options. You have Cheez-Its. There's a literal option. These are, oh my God, these are fantastic. So these Cheez-Its here, they're 130 calories for this whole bag. I think I have a video out there somewhere of just me munching on just Cheez-Its. Like, I was a big fiend when it comes to that stuff. This stuff here saved my life, okay? And then you have, obviously, different flavors of that. You have the spicy cheddar, that's a go-to. And then if you come over here just a little bit more, I think I've tried everything in this place because it's like kid at a candy store, like I said. This stuff here, fantastic. It's a great option. And then where are I know there's popcorn somewhere. Popcorn's on this other end here, right here. Who would have thought that there's protein popcorn? I'm sneaking this into the movie theater. I don't know about you. I'm just be munching on this stuff, you know. But I think one of my favorites, honestly, is Quest. Quest has came a long way. Like if you asked me a few years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, Quest, not that great of a protein bar, but they've changed dramatically. And now they have like chips. They have, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, like nacho cheese, fantastic option, chili lime, hot and spicy, like buffalo ranch. I don't think there's a flavor out here that I dislike. So if you ever go, like they have them at different stores as well, but I would literally just buy one of everything and just see what you like. But I can't give you like oh, this one's better than this one. It's just one of those things. It's like, do you like white or do you like Latina? You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. Yeah, don't tell my wife. But I also want to talk about the macros on these bad boys, which is, again, insane, okay? So 140 calories or 19 grams of protein. I was such a snacker, and that's the thing. When I was overweight, it's just like, that was my biggest thing, is just like, how am I gonna lose weight? Because all I want to do is snack, and you have to stop snacking to lose weight, and that's not true. That's just one thing that's just absolutely not true. I almost want to say I probably snack more than I did when I was overweight. It's what you're snacking on. So again, 140 calories, 19 grams of protein. I think they're all pretty much the same. 140 calories, 19 grams of protein. These are better than 80% of the protein bars. These are fantastic. And then another one that I'd recommend is Legendary. It's just a different texture. It almost gives you that like air. It's just a different texture. I would recommend that. But the jalapeno is a awesome flavor. The pizza's good. You know, I haven't tried the ranch. These are all really good options. These are definitely the things that were like, held me down when I was down bad and I just wanted to snack. These were the things. So the next one, it's another chip. Surprise, surprise. It's the wild chips. So great macros, but man, it's made with chicken breast, egg whites, and bone broth. I remember seeing that, I'm like, ugh, and I ignored it for a while, and now I was like, okay, it's popular for a reason, let's try it. Dude, these are freaking awesome. So the spicy queso, oh my God, fantastic. My favorite one, honestly, out of the wild chips, would be chicken and waffles. I'm a big fiend when it comes down to pretzels. Honestly, anything, just because. What do I dislike? Honestly, like camera guy, like is there?
You were 315 pounds for a reason.
Yeah, I was a big bag for a reason. Like I genuinely, like I liked anything, but pretzels, man. Pretzels, I could get down on a thing of pretzels. Might as well make it high protein, right? Lower calorie. Something like this, 25 grams of protein for 210 calories. And this is cheddar. I'm a big cheese guy, okay? Here's another one, 26, not that much better, grams of protein, 200 calories. The macros is that much better. This is insane. I just wonder what things are gonna be like here in maybe like 5 years. Things have gotten so crazy with macros and just protein bars and all that low calorie stuff. It's like, what's gonna be here in like 5 years time? It's insane. Lastly, before I show you my top 5 favorite protein bars, if I had to stick to 5, it would be those. I'm gonna show you this last one here, and it's Built Bar, okay? Built Bar, it's such a different texture. It's actually made out of marshmallow. It's a really good option here. And there's so many different flavors, and that's the thing about like protein bars in general. You're just able to get so many different flavors. Like, I don't think there is a bad Built Bar. So you have hazelnut, Rocky Road, strawberries and cream, cookies and cream, banana cream pie, churro, mint chip, chocolate milkshake, salted caramel, coconut, brownie batter, s'mores chunk, that's what I was, peanut butter cup, all great options. I would just go to your local, if you have one, go to your local spot and grab every single one of these. You're gonna spend a bag, but who cares? It tastes freaking awesome. So I'm gonna give you my 5 favorite protein snacks, okay? And I would highly recommend these. Number 1, it would be the David Bar. Macros on this is absolutely insane. The taste is good, but the macros, it just makes the taste fantastic. Number 2 on my list, and it's so hard because I'm like constantly thinking like out of everything here, like what, I don't know, there's just a lot of options. Legendary. Legendary, you just can't go wrong with. It's literally like tasting a pastry. Like, am I wrong? Yeah, there we go, right? Fantastic option. And macros are still really good. You're looking at 180 calories, 20 grams of protein. And let me go down the list of the different flavors. You have, and by the way, you have like donuts here. Like, come on, if you're probably a big bag watching this. I was a big bag, I like donut. I know you like donut. Come on. Anyways, Let's start right here. The donut, pink sprinkle. You have the vanilla glazed donut here. Then you have my favorite, the cinnamon crumble. That one's fantastic. And these are all like, stupid low in calorie. Then you have the chocolate dipped. That one's okay. Then you go on to these kind of pastries here. You have cherry crumble, strawberry, blueberry, hot fudge sundae, cherry crumble, chocolate cake, and then you have the brown sugar cinnamon. That one is gas. Really, really good options here. Number 3, when it comes down to snack, it's actually not protein based, but it's super low in calorie. And if I want something sweet, I'm going for the Shameless. So if you come over here, it's 90 calories. And it's just like the taste is just phenomenal. So instead of going and get Skittles or fruit roll up or just these things, you have these options. So you have green apple blast, you have cherry, and then you have chili mango. The chili mango is honestly probably the best in my opinion. So again, super low in calorie, and it'll just give you that like, oh, like I'm satisfied because I got what I wanted, which is like a sugary substance. But honestly, it's low calorie, so it's like you're cheating, but you're really not. For my 4th option, it's actually gonna be a drink. Oh my God, protein drink, and it's not what you think. You're not. It's not like a muscle milk. It's not. It's literally like a fruit punch. There's different flavors. So let me show you. You have. I'll get to the macros in a second. Like I'm really excited right now. I'm just like. But you have orange cream. You have banana pineapple. You have the cherry limeade. By the way, this is all from Fucked Up. You have peach mango. You have rainbow candy. Green apple. Like there's so many. And then Barbell, one of my favorite protein bars, actually came out with a drink. I have not tried it yet, but it's 50 calories for 10 grams of protein. Insane macros. Let me show you the macros on these bad boys though. For the orange cream, you're looking at 100 calories, 25 grams of protein. That is absurd. If you told me 5 years ago that they're gonna be coming out with things like this, I would actually shit bricks. It's insane, but I'm probably just gonna have one now, honestly.
Hey bro, you didn't even pay for that.
I don't mind them, it's okay. But anyways, that's number 4. I still got the last one. And honestly, it's so hard because there's so many different flavors. So I'm literally looking around like, God, what's gonna take the spot? Ah, man, it's almost like life decisions, you know what I mean? Like, I literally got to walk around. It has to be the Quest chips. The Quest chips saved me. I was a chip eater. Doritos, Lay's, Fritos, you name it, I ate it, you know? So that's crazy. I'm like a rap. Call me Young Peach. Hoping to be. Anyway, yeah, it's gotta be Quest. And the reason why is obviously I'm a big protein guy, right? If you consume your protein, you're gonna be fuller quicker. What I do all the time is I go and make a burrito bowl, and it's with like the leanest ground beef with lettuce and salsa and all this stuff, and then I'll crunch up like some protein chips. It'll be like the hot and spicy or honestly whatever I'm feeling that day, and put it on top to get that crunch. Dude, like that saved me with a little bit of like cheese and stuff. Like that stuff saved me. And like to this day, honestly, yeah, I'm just very thankful for Quest. Yeah, honestly. All right, so I'm gonna be loading up on protein, just get a bunch of stuff. And I know not everybody has access to a nutrition shop near them or whatever. So we're gonna go somewhere else where everybody has honestly access to. Your mom. Just joking, let's go. Walmart. Wally World, welcome. Let's go inside. So we're in the protein aisle at Walmart. Surprise, surprise, if you look around, there's a lot of options here. Honestly, this is where people kind of get confused. Is people think healthy means that they're gonna lose weight. That is so not the case. Like before, I was literally eating things like peanut butter, like things that you think are healthy, mixed nuts that are extremely calorie dense, but is technically, I guess, healthy. But I put on so much weight, I'm like, what's going on? But anyways, I was talking about all the crazy good options here at Walmart, and just like at the nutrition shop here at Walmart, there are literally a ton of options. So I'm just gonna go and take you through stuff that I would get and stuff that I ate, losing 130 pounds in 12 months. One of them is actually, these are brand new, so I wasn't having this like through my journey, but I have them now. They're so freaking good. It's the Built Sour Puff Peach Edition. Come on, you gotta go with the peach, you know what I'm saying? 150 calories, 16 grams of protein. Hits that marker for that 10 grams of protein, 100 calories, so this is a go-to. Okay, so the Legendary, as you guys know, that was at the nutrition shop as well, so literally any of these are a absolute go-to, okay? They taste good and they hit the macros. It's 2 birds, 1 stone, baby. baby. And remember my rule of thumb. Every 100 calories at least has to be 10 grams of protein, which brings me to barbells or bear bells. I don't know, but I don't know what it is actually. But anyways, you have to be careful because some of them don't have it, but this one does. It's 200 calories, 20 grams of protein. It just hits that marker. And honestly, everything at the nutrition shop, Walmart pretty much has. It has the David bars. It has all these different flavors. So honestly, yeah, I would just recommend coming in here, trying some, pick out of some of your favorites, some of like what I would recommend. You know, I want to get an unbiased opinion on protein snacks or just in general when it comes to all of this stuff. I have someone very specific in mind that I want to talk to and get their unbiased opinion, because honestly, knowing this guy, he'll give me that unbiased opinion if he likes it or not. All right, we got someone right here that's going to try it. We got the creamy, crisp barbell. See if this guy likes it. Just gonna walk it on him. Yo, okay, hey, I know this is like all abrupt and stuff, but I know you've had barbell. I want you to try this flavor though, specifically. I want a completely unbiased opinion on if it's good or not. I want to give it a rating of just like, because a lot of people think protein is like, tastes bad, crappy flavors, whatever. I just want to see, do you like this? All right, unbiased opinion.
Unbiased.
Unbiased, all right.
Okay. Bro, I don't know if I am hungry right now, but it's just gas. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I will say though, great brand. If you don't know, you should know. Fantastic protein bars. I feel like I've had better from Barbell.
Okay.
Feels like a candy bar.
That's
which
what
is
I'm trying to say, bro.
Which is crazy, and it's like it's kind of like that whole that myth of like protein shakes and protein bars and all that stuff. It sucks. No, it doesn't. You just maybe didn't get put onto the right things.
100%. 100%. All right, man.
I get to keep it.
Actually, yeah, fine.
Hey, I like it enough. I get to keep it.
By the way, people are asking, how's your weight loss going?
It's going good. Locked back in.
Awesome.
Feeling like I used to, and I feel like I went through a moment where I thought that I felt like that again. But a lot of experiences, a lot of things, a lot of situations happening, locking back in though. But after a lot of reading, a lot of tools learned, a lot of therapy, a lot of adjusting, and like really like focusing on the mindset part of things.
For sure.
Dude, I mean, I'm feeling better than ever.
Weight loss is more of a mental game than anything.
No.
So, safe to say, this guy's locked in. He's losing weight. Okay, speaking of, you're actually about to get on a coaching call with like a bunch of people, right? And this brings me into my next thing. I know this is like out of the blue. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Try this protein bar. Like, what's going on? Anyways, look, this comes down to the end of the video. I just want to like let you know that me and this guy in like this whole Peach Fit company, we really I honestly like take this over, dude. Like honestly, like how passionate we are about like helping other people lose weight, dude.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, I commit 6 different hour, group coaching call sessions every single week.
He's about to get on one.
I mean, after hours, weekends, I don't care what it is. I'm always trying to go above and beyond and really be there and help and support. And it helps me in a way too. I feel like we're all locked in together.